Hello, I think everything is up here. So this is the Red-Headed Poet. We're back again today to finish up what we started yesterday, actually. Normally I only do one video per week. But this was kind of a quick thing I wanted to do in between because my initial plan was very different. I talked about that yesterday. And so as soon as we finish up this little guy, so I just wanted to spend 1 week on him. Plus the painting of this figurine should be pretty simple. So we're finishing up our Copper Golem. I've already done the base coat of paint here. I'm seeing that I missed some stuff. So I already did the basic base coat, but part of his hand did come off. That's okay. I left it that way because it makes it easier to reach this. And then I have my glue here, so we'll glue it right back on there. Won't be a big deal. So he will be holding a little piece of wood. But this is what we have started so far. I brought my copper paint up here. Because it is just copper, he's pretty simple to paint. He doesn't have too many other colors. We are going to be attempting to do a little bit of a copper patina look. So I'm going to do that. But ultimately, this figurine shouldn't take that long to paint. And that was the other reason I didn't want to spend a whole week on the painting of it, because I feel like that would be kind of a throwaway week. Like I really wouldn't be probably going to spend maybe 40 minutes on this guy. Because he's just copper. So not a whole lot of variation there. So I didn't want to spend too much time on this. Mostly just because I was excited about the new Minecraft thing. I know it's trending a bit right now. So I wanted to do my little tribute to it and then go back to my normal intended schedule. If I can call it that. It's not very scheduled for a schedule. So yeah, we're just going to keep very slowly adding copper highlights to this little guy. And then I'll go through and do the copper patina look just a little bit. We're not going to completely have him oxidize like that. I think is it oxidation that causes the copper patina? I have to look that up. But yeah, so we're not going to completely do that. I just want to do some like little tidbits here and there to give him a little bit of a blue, green, teal kind of color starting to happen. So but yeah, I do really love these little guys. They're very cute. And hopefully, I think I did decent enough with the portrayal here. I probably should have made him a little bit more squat and wide to fit the original design. But also, I mean, everything in Minecraft is a little bit proportionally different than it would be realistically, so I don't think I did too terribly. I am very happy with the eyes. These are just the little, it's like the aquarium, not gravel, but the glass beads that you can get in the craft store. They come in all colors. They work really well if you need like a glowing eyes like this. You get them in different colors and then use predominantly beige or white colored clay, and it gives it a very glowy effect. That's quite nice. Yeah, so we're just gonna make it copper. I will probably also do very faint golden highlights just to kind of lighten up the copper color a little bit. And I did the base coat, I did brown because I was concerned that black would just be too dark for this, and I would have to do so many layers of copper to counteract the darkness of that. Now I can probably also do some white or gray highlights and then go over it with the copper again. That'll probably help as well. But yeah, like I said, this is going to take me, what, 40 minutes probably tops. So, didn't want to spend a whole time. That's why I figured I'd just add an additional little short video today before I go. It's going to say go to bed, but I actually should probably, I need to finish cleaning my house. So. And then next week we'll be doing a very difficult sculpture. I'm going to try to set aside a decent amount of time for it. I have nothing planned that week, so I should be able to spend a great deal of time on it. because it's going to be a challenge. So I am going to try to do an actual accurate biblical angel. We will be doing the wheel style angel, but also what always appears with that, which most people don't do, which is the multi-headed creature described in Ezekiel chapter 1, which is where the wheel with eyes appears along with. It does not appear by itself. So that is going to be quite a challenge. I don't know, I'll be honest, I don't know if I'm up to it. I'm going to do my best. If it turns out horrific, I might privatize the video or just admit that I failed. But I am going to do my best. It's going to be quite difficult. But yeah, I do want to do a little bit more reading on that passage because there's a few spots, like I want to make sure I get the description accurate. And there's a few spots that are a tad bit vague in the wording. So I want to look through different translations and the original Hebrew just to make sure I'm not misunderstanding what I'm trying to make. Because I do my best to be accurate. Artistic license is fine and all, but, you know, when there is a description, you try to follow it. That has been my rule of thumb for most things, especially when they're associated with specific cultures or religions. I think it's very important to try to be accurate as possible and respectful. So, see, we're getting our copper color here. Now I think I may add a little bit of a gold, just because the gold is a lighter color. But then we'll go back to copper it again. So let's also we got to do this. I think I'm going to color it like the oak log as well. So we'll see. Okay, so we're going to do some quick. That is too heavy there. Did not mean to do that. Some quick things like this to kind of highlight stuff. And you can see that little like beaten metal appearance I gave it does show up a bit. Not super strongly, but I really liked that effect that on the head. I probably should have waited a tad longer before starting this video because the base coat wasn't quite dry yet, but it's fine. We will get through it anyway. This is making him look a little weathered, but that's fine. I like additional highlighting of details. It works. Okay. And let's take a moment just to get our little, while he dries a bit, we'll lay him back here. To get our little log that he's going to be holding. It's got his other fingers on it. Let's take a moment to get this to where we want it. Okay, so. So we got that. Almost a little bit of yellow. Just a tiny bit of yellow, and then we'll do the lighter color again. Because I'm thinking the Minecraft oak logs are kind of like that. And all right. All right, so that's kind of close to what I want there. Okay, so now we are going to add a little bit of a gold color over the copper, and then we'll go back with the copper again, and then we're going to have to figure out how to do the patina color. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do gold on like the highlight points here, so like the edges, just lightly the edges of everything. Just lightly dry brush it, like so. And then we'll go back with the copper, because it gives it a little bit of a worn look, I think. Because things are rarely like all one color. They're usually a combination of different shades. And when I do this, it almost looks like brass. Okay. Okay. Yeah, it's a little shame the camera itself can't quite pick up the color variation that I'm creating here. You can kind of see it, but not quite as clearly as I would like. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and glue the hand back on. So bear with me, and then we're going to start, I'm going to look up the colors of like copper patina and what that looks like, and we're going to try to create a realistic look with that. So while that's working, I'm going to do a quick light copper color here so that the underside isn't lacking in color. Okay. Almost finished. All right, so let me put some of these away before I use some more brushes. So what I was looking at is that a copper patina is almost like a It's almost like a teal color, a mix of a teal and green. I'm trying to find a good picture of it. Okay. So it looked like a mixture of these two colors here. So we're going to be... Oops, I did not mean to do that much paint. That is such a waste of paint. Okay. So we're going to be doing a little bit. There we go. All right. And then I want to get a bigger brush. Not that brush. I keep ruining all of my brushes. I need to... I need to be more careful with my brushes. Okay, here's a nice new one that I can also ruin. Alright, so it looks almost like a tiny bit of green mixed in with this to make a sort of teal. I think this, yeah, it's the right color. It's just, it's interesting to try to create this effect. I think I'll just do little tidbits here and there. Alright. Trying to think if I should do more if this slight patina is a good idea, just leaving it like this. Let me clean up his eyes a little more here. There we go. There we go. His eyes are nice and shiny now. I think I want to do another layer of paint on the wood, wood that he has here that's a little different colored. Because I think it's still a little too close in tone to the golem himself. That was a bad choice on my part. I probably should have done something other than the wood piece, but I don't know. That was just something that my little golems were sorting a lot of, or at least I was trying to get them to sort until I figured out how the mechanics worked. Um, I don't know if that helped. That almost made it more similar. Here, let me do. There we go. We have our little copper golem who is starting to change color a little bit. So he's got a little bit of the copper patina starting on him. I took a little artistic license with this and the bands, but everything else was based on the shading that was on the original pixelated little design. But I'm pretty happy with him. I think he's cute. He's a cute little guy. I will take some photos when I do the shortened video. I'll take some better photos, so you'll be able to see the color variation a little better than this camera can portray. Let me. You can see the color variation a little better this way, but not quite as well. But yeah, I think we're finished with our little copper golem. Yeah, that took me 35 minutes, so I figured it'd be around 40-ish minutes. I was pretty close. I didn't think it would take too long, so I didn't want to spend a whole week on this little guy, but he is finished. I will try to get that video up. Hopefully, maybe tomorrow, maybe later this week. Not entirely positive. Definitely not tonight. I don't have time to do it tonight. Plus, I can't download the video. I wasn't recording this one, so I can't download it until later. But yeah, I am happy with this little guy. I think he's pretty cute. I'm excited for the new Copper update and all the stuff they added. And yeah, I'm pretty happy. So I think we'll end the video tonight. If you watch this, I do really appreciate it. I'm trying to build a bit of a channel here, but mostly I just make stuff that makes me happy. But I do take suggestions. So if you have suggestions, video games, you know, cryptids, I'm very fond of cryptids and mythology. So if you have suggestions on that route, I very much will do those. Video games and such, I will do ones that I am somewhat familiar with. So do take suggestions on those, please. I know I will probably be doing, someone asked me to do a tall bird, so I'll probably, after I do the angel, I might try to do a tall bird statue. But yeah, I do take suggestions, so feel free to give them. If I'm interested, I will definitely do them, and I'll definitely look them up. So I do appreciate any interactions I get, and yeah, I appreciate it all very much. So I hope you all have a wonderful night. I need to get off here and actually clean my house. I'd rather keep painting, but yeah, I can't put it off any longer. I need to organize some stuff and clean up the house. So thank you for watching. Have a wonderful night or morning if it is morning for you. And I will hopefully see you next week with a new and very challenging sculpture. But yeah, we're going to end it for now.